So these are the Stihl Bluetooth headphones. So I think I saw on social media that maybe last week the Stihl Bluetooth headphones became available in this country. I've been very lucky to actually have got a pair a couple of months ago that I've been able to test and, you know, put my thoughts together into a review for you guys to kind of make up your own mind as to whether this is something that you'd want to go down the lines of. I always listen to music when I'm at work, quite into my podcasts, and you know, traditionally I've always just had my headphones, you know, in my ears, and then my ear defenders over the top. But sometimes, you know, you can find that the wires all get in the way, and then you sort of pull the wire and it pulls it out the ear. So the chance to actually use some Bluetooth headphones was kind of a real positive thing, I thought. And well, have a look and see what you think. So these are the Stihl headphones. They're okay, to be fair. I took them off earlier, it was a little bit hot, but generally pretty good. So the sound quality is good, definitely. Even if they were just noise cancelling headphones, I think that would be quite good. I think if I was listening to some podcasts, especially with the blower on, it could have done with being just a little bit louder. I think that was just because it was a podcast and they were talking quite softly. As I showed there, the music's still pretty loud, so there's no sort of issues on that front. What I love about this is the freedom to move around. I can take my phone out and I haven't got to worry about getting a wire caught or anything. So, so far, really impressed. Now day 3 of the headphones, and there we are. Yeah, and I don't know if you can see, but the battery is completely full on them. So I've been using these Stihl headphones now for about 2 weeks, and the battery's finally run out. Now I've not used them, you know, 24/7, 7 days a week for 2 weeks, but I've used them, you know, as much as what I would normally use headphones. And now we've got a few options to charge. It comes with this charger here, which has a USB switch on the end, so you just plug in, and now I've got a couple of options. One is I could plug it into my computer and charge it that way, use the iPhone plug, or generally carry these battery packs around, so I could charge it like this. So that's a good way. So especially if you want to use it on the go, you could put the headphones on and just put the battery pack in a pocket or something along those lines. Another option would be, I have one of these chargers which goes in the cigarette lighter, and just means that while I'm going along, other way around, I can charge them in the van while I'm going along too. So there's loads of options on how to charge the battery on this, and to be fair, it's not something you're going to have to do regularly if, you know, the lifespan is 2 weeks. So I'm really impressed with how long the battery actually lasts on these, so that's really cool. So I think it's pretty obvious that I'm well impressed with the battery on this. As I say, I don't mow every single day, so I'm not using them 24/7, you know, 7 days a week. So for me, they lasted 2 weeks. I'm sure for a lot of you guys out there, it's only going to be 1 week. But even so, I still think that, you know, to know that you only need to charge them on a Sunday or something like that isn't too bad of a thing. So a couple of things I just wanted to make you aware of. So to turn them on, you've got 3 buttons there: volume up, down. I believe they do some other buttons. They do some other things as well. but I just received this and not the instructions, so I'm not entirely sure what does what. I've had to work it out myself. So that's on now, and instantly that's connected to my phone, so you know, I can instantly just start playing some music straight away. So you know, really easy to work in that sense. What also is quite cool, I've obviously gone through the ways in which you can charge it, so even if it does die on you while you're at work, you can actually charge it with a battery pack and still use it. One more thing on the battery life is, once there's an hour left, it will give you a beep to let you know that you've got an hour left, and then it will beep every 10 minutes for that last hour. So at no point are you gonna just run out of juice halfway through a job. Also, while you're connected to your phone, if you just open it up and then scroll to the right, and then you'll see there that it'll actually give you the battery power of your phone and the battery power of the headphones. So at 70%, I know it's going pretty strong. So one thing you can do if you didn't have a smartphone, I'm presuming everyone does nowadays, or if your sick beats were actually on an old school iPod that you wanted to listen to, it's not an issue with this. All you need to do is get yourself one of these wires, and then this doesn't work, I haven't used this in years, but connect it in there, and then you can connect it in like this, so you can still listen to any kind of music. If you still, you know, have your Walkman or your Discman, then you know, this isn't discriminating. One thing I did find on this, however, when using it, is obviously it's a little bit heavier than your normal headphones, but I think you need to kind of, you know, expect that. It's obviously got speakers in there, there's batteries in there and things like that, so it's always going to be that little bit heavier. When I was mowing, when I was blowing, scarifying and all that kind of stuff, not an issue, not a problem. But when I found myself maybe top dressing, maybe spraying, fertilising, seeding, doing those sort of jobs, I still wanted to listen to my podcasts, but I didn't actually want to wear this, especially on really hot days. So I actually ended up, you know, taking it off and having to carry my headphones with me for situations like that. Also, one other thing which wasn't annoying as such, but you know, an advantage of using maybe your iPod headphones or your iPhone headphones, should I say, with your ear defenders, is that when a client or the phone does ring, you know, you can dip your revs and then answer the phone call with the Bluetooth headphones. Obviously, you haven't got the headphones in, so you haven't got that capability, so you end up getting your phone out your pocket and listening in through the headphones, but like kind of shouting into your phone down here, and it didn't quite work so well as kind of what I was used to, shall we say. I don't know if, you know, by using, you know, the attachment to plug this in, whether there will be plans to have a microphone. If there is, or there is the capability for that, I think that's going to be a big plus for this, definitely. But all in all, great battery, great sound, and I'm pretty happy with this. This is certainly, you've probably noticed from my other videos, this is certainly something that I've been using regularly. I think going forward from this review, it's certainly something I'm going to be using on a regular basis. I really enjoy using it. I think it's made life a lot easier, you know, especially when you're not pulling wires out and things like that. I think the sound quality is pretty good. If I was to be critical of it, I would just say it just needs to go a little bit louder, especially when you're listening to things like podcasts. You know, if it had an option of a microphone, whether that's something they're going to add to it later, I'm not sure. But if they did, that'd be really good. And it gets pretty hot, I would say. Quite often you can, when you squeeze them, you kind of see the sweat drip out a little bit, which is totally gross. So I demonstrated that for you. I'm sure you can imagine it. And I'm aware that happens with all headphones, but I think on this one, just a little bit more perhaps. Should also say I'm not getting paid to do this review, and I'm certainly not sponsored by Stihl in any way. Something that I personally really wanted to test. And I'm happy I have, and I'm glad I have, and it's certainly something I'm going to be using in the future.